Today I'm actually going to show you how much Alfa Romeo you can buy for less than €1,000. And seeing as I've only paid 900 for this model, I seem to have achieved my goal. Even though it's got 5 or 6 different colors of red and a couple of dents here and there, it's still a red Alfa Romeo, so I can't complain too much.
This 2000 model is the 1.8 litre twin spark with 144 brake horsepower. As the Berlina, or sedan version in English, the shape is clean but aggressive, which makes it a very beautiful car in my opinion. The nostrils and the 4 holes at the front being only one of the many points that make this car stand out.
These rims are also a great example of how Alfa Romeo just wanted to do things a little bit differently than most manufacturers.
Instead of traditional 5-spoke rims, they went for 5 circle rims that immediately catch your eye. In combination with the deep cuts in the body, there's no doubt that this car means business.
The rear badge is also a great detail. Now this one has seen quite a lot of sun, as you can see. As you would twist it open and use the key to open the boot and twist it back so you wouldn't see the keyhole. That last part was something I've actually forgotten a couple of times, I'm ashamed to admit, and it just drove around like this.
With the classic chrome door handles also being different, the 156 doesn't seem to have a bad angle on it. So on the looks department, it's also a true Alfa Romeo.
And on the inside, the interesting points continue. These dials, for example, are geared towards the driver, which means if you're sitting on a passenger seat, you actually can't see them, which is quite an interesting choice, I guess.
Another interesting point is the climate controls. The little ducts on the right measure the temperature of the interior. But because it's near your knee, it's usually warmer there than the rest of the cabin. But that's not the strangest part of the climate controls. That would be the vents on top of the dashboard, which seem to be the perfect size for a water bottle. So you also have a fridge, although I wouldn't recommend driving with it.
And while the dashboard is quite interesting as well, the most interesting point is probably this bit. Do you recognize what it is? Yes, exactly. It's in the shape of the Alfa Romeo 156. Now I'm not sure how it was in other cars, but the 156 has got 1, 2, 3 different ashtrays. And not only do you have your own ashtrays in the back, you've also got your own climate controls. You've also got your own dome light and handle on either side. But for some reason the driver doesn't have one.
So the 156 is an Alfa Romeo inside as well, but that hasn't stopped them from making it even more obvious, which I will now demonstrate in a game called Spot the Brand.
Now, as you've probably have seen, this car isn't immaculate, but most of the things that need to be done are relatively easy. For example,
the stickers on the back should come off quite easily. I just hope that they don't cover up anything bad underneath. The moss and wildlife on the windowsills can be cleaned by using a small brush or a toothbrush. As for the plastics, they need to be cleaned as well and are probably going to be sprayed. The side skirt on the passenger side doesn't line up with the car itself, so that needs some work as well. The rims, although beautiful, aren't the easiest ones to keep clean, but the bigger issue are some rust patches. On the rear door there are some scratches which are going to be tricky, but the main problem is of course the paint. It unfortunately has wetted quite a bit on the bonnet and on the roof, and I'm going to try to make it look as original as possible by using a buffing machine, but mostly a lot of patience.
Now with all its interesting points and styling cues, I think the 156 is actually a very interesting car to buy for less than €1,000, especially this one, considering it's had a €14,500 repair history. And I think with a little bit of love and a little bit of cleaning, we can make it an even better choice than it is already.